Graphics cards cost double what they did. The box on that shelf holds the same chip as last year, yet its tag keeps climbing while the maker celebrates. One box remains on this shelf, and nobody restocked the gap behind it. Retailers report allocations shrinking every quarter while waiting lists stretch from weeks into entire seasons. Chart the street price, and it climbs like a staircase with no landing. Memory contracts roughly doubled inside a year, dragging every finished card up with them. Inside this tower sits an empty slot, budgeted twice and filled never. The upgrade money is still waiting while the part it wanted quietly left the market. We have watched shortages before, from mining booms to pandemic freight. Each one ended when demand cooled, the marker slid back, and shelves refilled within a couple of quarters. Every card begins as a polished wafer, sliced into hundreds of tiny dies. The factories that print them run around the clock and still cannot satisfy every buyer. Building a new fabrication plant swallows $20 billion and 4 years. Capacity is fixed in the short run, so someone must decide who gets the wafers. Nearly 9 of every 10 advanced chips ship from a single island. A narrow strait, one earthquake away from the entire pipeline, pausing while the world watches. Then artificial intelligence arrived hungry. Training one frontier model devours tens of thousands of accelerators, and every cloud giant announced racks by the football field, not the shelf. The build-out keeps compounding. Hyperscalers pledged hundreds of billions of dollars for data centers this year alone, which means the hungriest customer on Earth now shops upstream of you. Watch the dots flip first. High bandwidth memory pays factories triple ordinary rates, so the production lines abandon consumer sticks, and gaming prices absorb the vacancy overnight. Inside the boardroom, the math is rude. One wafer can become gaming silicon worth thousands, or a server accelerator fetching hundreds of thousands, and the chairs pick the bigger number. So pin the evidence up, follow the blue thread from your empty shelf, through the memory market, past the wafer ledger, and notice it never points at gamers. Every thread lands on the same card, allocation. Not sabotage, not scalpers, simply a spreadsheet that ranks its buyers, and households now sit on the bottom row. The wafer fan tells it plainly. Lines that printed gaming dies last spring now stamp accelerator silicon because contracts for the next 2 years sold out before any shelf saw stock. One rack of accelerators out-earns a warehouse of gaming cards. Sellers bundle support contracts worth more than your whole build. So, guess which order ships first tomorrow? Stack the margins as dots, and the bars stop looking related. Consumer graphics hovers near 30%, data center silicon clears 70%, and boards chase that gap. Back at retail, the ration is visible. Shipments that once filled whole aisles now arrive as single pallets, sell through before lunch, and leave the tag climbing. Trace the routes, and they bend away from you. Wafers leave the island for packaging, then reroute toward cloud campuses, while the consumer lane thins into a dotted afterthought. Executives are not hiding any of this. Earnings calls celebrate record data center revenue each quarter, and the gaming line gets one polite sentence about supply remaining tight. Meanwhile, the empty slot keeps its dust. Used cards from 2 generations back now resell above their original launch price, which is the market quietly grading your desperation. This cycle refuses the old script. Past squeezes broke when bubbles popped, yet the marker keeps sliding forward because this demand signs multi-year contracts instead of chasing fads. The racks keep multiplying anyway. Analysts count new campuses in the hundreds, each pre-ordering silicon years ahead, turning tomorrow's supply into yesterday's news before fabrication even begins. Follow the spending dots upward. The 4 biggest cloud platforms plan $700 billion of infrastructure this year, more than the entire gaming hardware market earns in a decade. So the shelf stays bare on purpose. Every restock rumor dies in a forum thread, while the lone box grows a tag priced like a car payment. New factories are rising, from desert campuses to island expansions. The catch sits in the calendar. None pour real volume before late decade, and their first customers sign. Even fresh capacity inherits the same ladder. New lines get booked by whoever pays accelerator prices, so relief for the shelf comes last, if it arrives at all. Your practical menu is short. Buy used, hunt previous generation, or wait with the dust. That last option gambles on the hungriest buyer on Earth suddenly losing its app. Here is the twist. Nothing broke. Wafer output actually grew this year. What shrank was your share of it, reassigned in a meeting you were never invited to. So watch the giant hand take the last card and leave only its tag. The market did not break for everyone. It simply stopped being priced for you.